Hi everybody. I wanted to introduce you to the newest kit in Stampin' Up, and it's Road to Christmas kit. It is an adorable kit that makes eight Christmas cards, and there's no stamping involved. You just put the pieces together. Now I will show you. Comes with everything you need to put the cards together. So you could take this kit with you anywhere to put together. You could take it to work and put it together during your lunch hour. You could take it to the hospital if you're visiting a friend. All kinds of different places. Of course, it comes with the instructions for each card. And I have already put one kit together, but I'm going to show you the original kit put together and a few alternatives. I just added different backgrounds and layers to the cards. Let me check to see if my feed is showing up. Okay, so the colors in this kit are Cherry Cobbler and Real Red, Basic Black, Crumb Cake, Crushed Curry, Early Espresso, Lost Lagoon, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party. And I pulled some of those colors out to make some layers, and I'm going to show you. So the first thing we're going to do is put together just the original cards as they are in the kit. Put this up here, and we're going to punch out. Got my kit upside down here. They come with these very cute envelopes. I was going to try to do something with the envelopes, but maybe with a future kit. I did not have time to mess around with those, so I just put the cards together. So I'm going to set those aside. This is the card panel that goes with each card. We have one like the Christmas tree lot, and then this one is like To the Tree Farm. Very pretty, very cute. So we'll put those, we have 4 of each of these, so we'll set this aside. And then we have the actual card base. This one is Pool Party, and there are 4 of these. And then here's our pieces we're going to punch out. And then the other card is put together with Lost Lagoon. Now, I did make one of my cards, and I think I put the wrong base with the wrong panel, but it still looked okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to punch the pieces out that we need. And this comes in several languages, so we're just going to use the English one today, which is up here. Sending loads of Christmas cheer. And I wish I knew someone that I could send these. I think they said it is Dutch and French. But I don't know of anyone that could use these that speaks Dutch and French. I mean, in all these cards, you could easily add an inside panel and stamp the, a greeting on the inside also. Okay, we're done with this panel, or the set of greetings. So I'm going to set that set aside, and we're going to punch out our trees. And we have one red truck and one cherry cobbler truck. They're different color for different cards. the one that goes to the tree farm is the one that's facing away from us, and the one coming towards us is the one on the tree lot. And I noticed in the instructions for the tree farm card, it shows to pull out a tree, and I think maybe a dog, I don't remember. But anyway, but those aren't used in those cards. It's these pieces, the tree, extra trees, and the dogs are only used in the tree lot. Now that doesn't mean you couldn't add them if you wanted to. And here's our packages that go in the back of our trucks. I should have went ahead and punched all of these out ahead of time, but they come out pretty quick, so trash for that. I'm going to set this panel aside because I don't know if I'll need that. I did see where someone used the tree, the extra tree, and the extra dog on the inside of the tree. I mean, inside of the card. So these just pop right out really quickly. Okay. Let's set these aside until we need them. And let's do the tree sale lot, Christmas tree sale lot. My sons used to sell Christmas trees at the grocery store a lot. They had a little tree lot set up there, and they made quite a bit of money for their fundraiser. Okay, now for this first card, we're going to use one of these. And I think this is the one that uses, this uses the red truck facing forward, coming forward. And then we'll need tree packages to put in the back of the truck. And there's a little slit right here that you can just slide your packages in. And you probably would slide it where you won't see the white stripe anymore. So it would go about right here. Now, you could push it forward a little bit because this is also going to have a tree. So that, like, if you wanted your bow, this other package of bow to stick up. Now, I also did find that you're not going to see this. So you could cut this off and add it to, behind here. Because I did do that with some. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to put our tree in. And I'm going to put my tree about like where these little ridges are. I'm going to put it about right there. And I'm going to take my dimensionals, and we're going to add one right where that tree comes in to secure that. And I think we'll use two. And on the instruction panel, it shows you where to put your dimensionals, but put them wherever you want. I think you can decide where you want to put your dimensionals. Okay, and then we're going to put our packages in. Hopefully I didn't put that where I probably should have put the packages in first. Yep. Let's loosen that. Okay. These packages are going to sit just like see, if I push it in farther, I can push the back packages up a little bit. And then I'm going to trim this off because I don't like this little piece of white sticking up here. And I don't remember if I did that with all my cards, but I did do it with this. Okay, let me adhere this. And I'll show you. Here's what I did. When I went ahead and put this set of packages in, I just cut it right here. So I put this set in like this. Put a little dab of glue behind that. And then I stuck these behind like this. So the packages are really stacked up there. I'm going to put some more dimensionals on. Down by the wheel. It's probably enough. Now the card, the original card only uses this card base. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this, get my bone folder. This is the pool party panel. This one is Lost Lagoon. And like I said, I think I put one of these together with the Lost Lagoon, but that's okay. So we're going to attach this. I think I'm about at the end of that. Make sure it opens to the bottom because I did put one together that opened backwards. Center that on there, and then we're just going to take our pieces off. And put this on the front of our panel. We're going to put it about right. See where they suggest. Yeah, they come down. Okay, and then we're going to add a little dog, maybe one dimensional. And I'm going to put my dimensional down towards the bottom so that in the mail, when this flattens, I won't have a double dimensional. See, that'll just flatten right against the truck. Okay, now we'll add our greeting. What did I do with it? I mean, you could, if you wanted to bling it up, you could add some jewels. You could add some of the rhinestones, maybe like on the little lights on the tree lot. But this card is finished. Very simple. And then, like I said, you could stamp something on the inside if you wanted. This is a lightweight cardstock, so you could add a base to it, which is kind of what I did on our other cards that I'll show you when we get our original cards finished. Okay, I'm going to set this one aside, and we'll go to the tree that is, the card where the truck is going back into the lot. And that uses the cherry cobbler and this greeting. Okay, I need the other card panel. This is the Lost Lagoon plaid. We'll add this panel. see how much tape I have left on this. Wow, I keep thinking that's going to end, but it just keeps, it's like the Energizer Bunny. Okay, now let's center this on our card base. Now this truck just uses the packages. And I know when I cut some of the ones off for the other truck, I added, some of those extra packages like up behind here. So like I said, you can cut this in half and use it. I ended up having leftover packages and leftover dogs and leftover trees when I finished with putting my stuff together. Now I'm going to just put my dimensionals on the back of here. And your packet or your kit comes with dimensionals and tear and tape, and I'm not even sure what they use the tear and tape for. Let me see. Oh, I guess they put their card panels on their background with the tear and tape, but I just use my own adhesive. Okay, let's get this on there. And you also, like I said, this shows to pull a tree out of your, kit, but the finished card has no trees or dogs in it. So I think that was just a mistake. See, it's just shows the truck with the packages. And you could, like I said, I was going to add a tree here, but it kind of blocks the entrance to the tree farm, which I liked this background, so I did not add that. Could have easily added a dog on there if you wish. But we're going to put this about right here, so we're not blocking the entrance to the lot or to the farm, tree farm. Do you buy a fresh tree or do you use an artificial tree? Oh, this is what I need. Put one about here, one about here, and one about here. We do both. I've got a bunch of, we moved and I have a bunch of trees that I put throughout the house since we've moved. And then I also have, this has got just a little nib on it. And then we've also had artificial trees. The last few years we've gotten a real tree. And of course, when the boys were in Scouts and selling trees, we always got one at the Christmas tree lot. But it just depends. I remember one year my husband said, we're going to get one from our field and we have to wait till it snows. And so we waited and waited and waited, and that year it did not snow until late into December. And the boys were getting antsy, and he finally, it did snow a little, and so we were able to take the lantern and trudge out into the field and cut down a cedar tree. And it was very magical with the full moon and such, but we only did that once. I think the kids were so aggravated because they wanted to put the tree up and it hadn't snowed yet. So, okay, that's our second as the kit comes. This is no additional, stuff. It's just as the card comes. We'll set it aside. Now, my I'm going to show you a couple of the alternatives that I did, and they're simple, nothing elaborate about them. This is, oh, that was the original card. And this one, I used a cherry cobbler base, which I think really made the tree pop. So that's our next card. And the bonus part, we get to cut these apart, and then you have enough to make more cards. And like I said, you're going to end up with extra trees. You don't end up with extra trucks, but I'm sure that you could, you know, make this into, you know, find a label to put, or a circle to put in there and put a greeting on it, and you could make it into another card. So I'm going to cut this apart. I'm going to cut it down, actually. I'm going to cut it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And save the little strips because you can use them to decorate the inside of your card. So we're just going to put this on here. And before I put this on, I'm going to cut my little tag that I wanted to add just a little bit of dimension. I'm just going to take my scissors, cut to the middle. Okay. Put this on our background. I was thinking this went under, but it doesn't. Oop, that slipped. At least when you use the glue, you can move your panel to where you need it before it adheres, and you can't move it any farther. Okay, now we need the tree farm panel. And we're just going to put this on the side right here. I'm going to make that a little more even. I kind of got this. I don't know if that looks any better. Let's do this side. With that dark cardstock, it's hard for me to see where the slit is. Oh, that's better. Much better. Okay, I'm just going to glue this. You get these little squirt bottles, fine tip glue bottles on Amazon. If anybody needs the link, let me know. I think I cut my V a little bit too deep, so I'm gonna have to fix that, because it'll stick out. So let me cut another one. I used my punch to do the other one, and I didn't think to bring it over here. Okay, that's better. Okay, and then we're back to our tree. And I need a set of packages. And see, this you can adjust so that they stick up higher because you don't see right behind this where the truck part sticks up. You can't see behind there, so you can kind of stick your, you know, so they make more of an impact. And dimensionals. Probably one more. And 3 for our greeting. I should use my take your pick tool. I think it's easier to get the backing off using my take your pick tool. Okay, card number 1, alternative. And then just put a white panel in here. I don't think I have any cut. Put a white panel in here, and then if you want to stamp a greeting, go ahead. If you want to use one of your extra trees and your dog, that's cute. You could decorate your tree with some sequins if you have any jewels. That's our first alternative, and we'll set it over here. Okay, card number 2. And it's also using a red background. Well, this is using real red. The other one uses cherry cobbler. So all I did was I took the card base, again, Pool Party one, and I cut it apart to, and I had used Lost Lagoon on this, but I think I'm going to try it with the Pool Party because that's what it's supposed to use. And I'm going to cut this down just a little bit more. I had cut it with a 1/16 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch, and I decided I think I need a 1/4 of an inch. And then I'll probably have to cut down I don't like the sound of that metal on there, but okay, let's center this. Okay, and then I had cut this at 4 by 5 1/4, so I'm going to cut this down a little bit more to 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And like I said, save these little strips that you cut off and you can decorate, you know, the inside of your card. And then this will layer there. We just have a little bit of that pool party background sticking up. I just like the darker bases. I just think it helps the truck pop out. And okay, now we need the tree that's coming towards us, and we need the panel of the tree sale lot. I don't think I need to turn that down. Nope. Now, if you weren't popping up your tree, or if you were giving this to someone in person, you definitely could pop this layer up with dimensionals. But we're going to just glue it on. Okay. Now we need our tree and our dog and some packages. Need to see if I can get the glue off of my bone folder. It's a mess. Okay, we're going to put this in here, and I'm going to trim off. I'm just going to slide it over just a little bit. You're not going to see. And I'm going to tack that. Where's my dimension? And then my tree. Now, I could layer those packages in there, more packages, or like I said, I could use it on the other one, but you just don't see the back of them, so why waste them? I'm gonna trim this off. I just don't think it needs it, and I don't like it. And you just have to trim it behind the packages. Okay, now let's put our tree in there. Probably one on the tree. I think if I could, I would just make Christmas cards all year round. That's my favorite genre of cards. And then our little dog just needs one dimensional. And then our little tag. Okay, that's alternate number 2. The only thing different was, like I said, I used the pool party as the base instead of the Lost Lagoon. But you could use either one. I think the Lost Lagoon looks good on that. It just adds a little more dimension to it in the color. But, okay, that one's done. Now our next alternate is just a very simple putting our, I put this one on a pool party base instead of the Lost Lagoon. And I think I have one already over here, so I'll cut this one to cut it down to 4 and 5 1/4. Okay, now we need our tree farm tree in a set of packages. Put a little tape back here so that when I put that in, excuse me. See, I could add that right there. And I think I'm going to do that. Excuse me. Let me get a drink. Okay, let's add our dimensionals. This one goes really fast. I mean, it's just do you have a favorite kind of card that you like to make? And we just need our tree farm panel. Now you could also add a little tag, you know, like I did on the other one, up here. And then our oops, I have too many here. 1, 2, put those back. I have a class scheduled for this kit on October 13th. If you're local to me, I live in Missouri, mid-Missouri. Okay, that one's finished. And see, we just added a few extra packages on there. Easy peasy. And we're going to go ahead and do the other, I think this is the last one of these. I think this is the last one of the tree farm. And so we just added the tag up there, tab up there, and we're going to put this on Mossy Meadow. See if I can cut this right the first time this time. So I don't want it very deep, because then I have to, I won't have the room if it's too deep. Okay. Okay, again, we're going to take one of the Lost Lagoon panels, and we're going to cut it down to our standard 4 by 5 1/4. Yep, I knew that was at the end. I think I have another one up here. Sometimes I have a side preference. It's like it doesn't, and it ends up folding with like a little bit extra on one side or something, so I always have to flip it. Okay, what did I do with my little hiding? Okay, I need our tree farm panel. Sometimes the Stampin' Seal does not advance. And so, let's see, I need it on the side. Make sure I'm at the edge there. If you have the silicone mat, the glue mat, you can advance it on there and get it started. And then when I go to put, change direction, I just make sure I start on the end of where I just put adhesive, and then it picks that up. Okay, and we need our last tree farm tree and a set of packages. I thought I punched out all my packages, and I don't know what I did with them. Because you do use packages on every tree, but you don't use dogs and trees on, you use the packages on every card, but you don't use trees and dogs on every card there. There we go. that one, so I will put it on the greeting and go ahead and grab 2 more for that. I tried to do each one of these different so that you could decide what you liked best, which background, which layering. And you can also take your Wink of Stella, which is a glitter pen, and color over some of the snow, some of the trees, and add a little bit of sparkle. And I did it again. Oh. You send that one to your very best friend so that they get a laugh. I did it on one of the other sets too. Okay, and now we're on to this one. Now this one I used the Lost Lagoon on all of it. This is the Lost Lagoon plaid and the Lost Lagoon panels. And I think I've already got this cut, so all we have to do is put our adhesive on. And I will say that this cardstock that they used for this is not as heavy as our regular cardstock. So this kind of gives it a little more heft by adding, you know, the layering. My phone stand just keeps creeping down. I hope it's still. And this is a perfect opportunity for me to show you this. Sometimes when you cut your cardstock, you end up with a little ridge here. You can see it sticking up just a little bit because I used the wrong side. See this little ridge right here? I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. But all you have to do is take your bone folder and just, and look. Well, of course I just glued it to my mat. Okay. See, it is gone. The little ridge is gone. So that's all you have to do is, I've noticed sometimes if I cut 2 layers at one time that I will get a little ridge sometimes. Okay. Get this on before I can do any more damage. Do we have this one? Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, I was going to say, did I put that on upside down again? But it's not upside down yet. Okay. Now we need the tree lot card. I forgot to check to see if I needed to. Oh, that one's out too. Great timing. And I'll show you how to refill it. No, I did not need to cut that. I thought I had already checked that, but who knows. Okay, we're going to center that. And then I'm going to get a refill for my snail, or my seal, I guess they call it now, not snail. And I kind of prefer the regular seal and not the Seal Plus. And I guess some people order the Seal and the Seal Plus refills only, and they only have the one case, so they just switch them back and forth. And that's why there's a zip top on this, so you can put it back in. Take it out and put it back in. But I don't plan to do that. I have 2, so you're just going to pull it apart. Pull this out. Throw it away. And I usually, at this point, take a little alcohol pad and clean up the edges because they get goo on them. And that's what causes your your adhesive to get caught, and then it will roll back on itself the wrong direction. So keep those edges clean and non-sticky. And it just, these little pegs, these just fit on these little pegs. These little, I hope you can't hear my stomach growling. Just like that. And then this just goes back on the top. I don't need that yet, but okay, now we got our tree. And our, oh, I already have those over here, okay. Well, I don't have my packages. Where are my packages? Because I had packages left over last time, and I don't this time. So maybe because I didn't trim those others. Oh, well. Okay, we're going to put these in. And I'm going to cut that off again. I mean, it's a guide. It's a great guide to show you where it needs to go, but and I'm going to cut these packages in half again, right on the other side of the bow. I think I want to put the tall package in there. Let's see how that looks. And then my tree. Well, let's put the tree in first. It's getting caught on that little, okay, my tree and my packages. See, that just blends right in. You can't even really notice that that's packages cut off. Okay, let me stick my tree back on there. Okay, and then I need one for my package. Or actually, I'll glue my panel. I'll just glue them in. And we'll stick one more up here on the tree. A lot of people I have seen take a highlighter or Sharpie ink pen, and they will go down the rows of their dimensionals, and then they can tell if they have taken, I don't need that now, so I'm going to take that off. They can tell if they've taken the tops off of all of them. Just going to see how that extra thing of packages would look on there. And one for the dog. And then you'll just add a white panel in here. And if you want to add a greeting or, you know, a note, you can. And our last card. Oops, I forgot to put the tag on it. Hold on. Hold the phone. I hate that when it sticks to you. And you can put this wherever you want, if you want it down or, you know, up higher. I say that the instructions are for suggestions, and you can put it where you want. Okay, now the last one. I used a mossy meadow base with an olive green panel on this one. See, sometimes you get just a little bit of extra, like it's folded, you know, I guess it's not exactly perfect, but that's okay. We can improvise by putting that to the back, and we have to turn it this way. And then we'll add our olive green. And you, of course, could cut this if you wanted just a tiny little bit, you know, of the green, or a large amount of green in a smaller panel. I mean, it's all up to you how you want to space it out. And then we're going to add our tree lot panel. And I don't think I need to cut it down. I mean, we could cut this down so it had more, you know, more of a border. And that little bit of a piece, if you cut it off, you could use on the inside. See, it doesn't want to start sometimes, and so you just pull it with your finger, and then I just try to stay in the same place when I turn it, or go back upon it, you know, back up on the adhesive, and then it always catches. But if you don't want to use your finger to get it rolling, then you can use your silicone glue mat. Okay, and then our forward-facing tree, or coming at you tree. And then we'll use that to put our packages and our tree in. I mean, this is the full set of packages if you put it in, but you don't, I mean, you don't see it. You only see half unless you pull it up, you know, kind of like you can adjust a little because you're going to put your tree in there. And so you can pull it forward a little bit. But you don't want the white to show down here. So there you've got a bow sticking up above the tree, I mean above the truck. And then if we stick our tree in right here, you know, that looks okay. So let's tack that down. And I'm going to cut this off again. Oops, didn't cut it far enough. Okay, and then we will put one on the bottom of the dog. our dog. And then our tag. And I used a little bit of crushed curry because that's the color that they used for the lights. And then cherry cobbler, and I just made, you know, these see if I can do these at the same time. Just cut a center line up how far you want your V to be, and then you cut in from each side. Now I'm going to adjust this up a little bit. That's still a little deep, but oh well. I like the shallower one better. Now I'm going to attach this to my tag so I know get that straight. Okay. And then I'm going to attach that to my tag. I probably want it about right. About right there, I think. And then I'll just cut this off, kind of like behind the tag a little. I'm going all the way to the top with this one since my tag is a little, I think I need to shorten that a little. Twist, just twist and it'll come off. I really want a, I don't want that deep of a tag. I mean, this part. I'm going to do that again. I think I'm going to grab my punch and I'm going to show you what I mean when I say I just want a shallow. It works so much better with the punch. Well, if I can find the punch. Here. I must have used the punch and not put it away because I don't see it. Sorry about that. I got it out and I guess I had not, oh here it is. I did get it out and I set it right here to use. This is a triple banner punch. And all I did was slide this in where I could see both edges. And then, and this is a much shallower V. Yeah, I did. Okay. So we're going to do it like this instead. See the difference? And I think it needs the shallower one. Better, much better. I think that's stuck forever. But that's okay. We'll just tape over the top of it. Yes, I like that much better. And that's our final card. Clean this up a little, and I can lay them out for you. Okay, we have all of these panels, all of these card bases left over. And I had one half of a set of packages left, and I have 4 trees and 4 dogs. So like I said, I think that you could easily, you know, make a little grouping, a little thing on the inside of your card to decorate it. Okay, so we have this one, this one, this one. I don't know if these aren't going to fit in, all fit in the picture. I'll try to put, let's see, I'll try to put and then we had this one. And this one. And then these were the original cards from the set, from the kit. I don't think these are all going to fit in the picture. So, tell me which one you like the best. Which alternative you like the best. Did you like the Mossy Meadow, Real Red, the Cherry Cobbler, or the originals? Maybe you liked the originals best without any of the additional, you know, using any additional cardstock. This was the Lost Lagoon. So let me know in the comments, please. And I would love it if you would share my video and give me a thumbs up. Thanks, everybody. Until next time.